Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Asked data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Wow, thank you. It's a lot of you. My mum told me to, when you get nervous, which I'm really nervous, in case you can't tell, just picture them all naked, which I'm really enjoying right now. I'm not going to lie, guys. So I'll just give you a bit of background as to who I am. I started my career in paid media in 2011, and I worked at this little agency called Periscopics, which some of you may have heard of. It was a PPC specialist agency, and it was a much simpler time. Performance Max didn't exist. You only made one bid change a day. You were in full control. It was so easy, and it was great. It's also the year that Will and Kate got married, and also the year that Charlie Sheen went off the rails, in case anyone remembers that. So today, I'm going to talk you through mistakes that I have made over the last 15 years and seen. And there might be some uncomfortable topics, but hopefully you find it useful. The aim of this is to help you not make the same mistakes, essentially. So, mistake number one, always get it in writing, okay? Some of you will have experienced something like this, I reckon. So, I was working with a very large watch retailer a long time ago, just on PPC. They were a great client. We had an amazing partnership. I could ring them up and be like, hey, there's this new thing called RLSA, and you can put audiences on your campaigns now. Do you want to test that? And they'd be like, yeah. It was great, the golden time. And we had a really good relationship with the client. We could just make phone calls on the ad hoc, and it worked really well. But nothing lasts forever, and that client got promoted, and so they were no longer our primary contact, and someone new was brought on. Fine, all good. I did what I always do. I bonded with them, I picked up the phone. The phones looked like this back then in the office. And I rang the client often. And one day I rang them and said, performance is really, really good. Should we increase the budgets? She was like, yeah, let's put an extra 10K in for October. So we're going to spend 50K. Okay? So it sounds like not much now, doesn't it? So I made the changes to the campaign, and I was really, really pleased with myself. I'm going to make this so good for this client. Made the changes, all good. And off I went on holiday. Didn't think anything more of it. And I went on a long holiday to Vegas, and I had an amazing time. It was a wedding. You ever been to Vegas for a wedding? It was so good. It was so, so fun. But obviously, after the holiday, I was sick. And I was really sick, so I couldn't go back to work. And I definitely got judgment for not going back to work for like a week after this holiday. But honestly, I was so ill, guys. I couldn't have done it. Anyway, a couple of days into my sickness leave, my boss rings me, and she says, Kat, the account's overspent by 10 grand. What's going on? And I was like, no, it's fine. We agreed it all on the phone. Well, they're not saying anything about that. And the budget was 40K. You've overspent. The account's a bit out of control. The client's not happy. Shit. I was so upset. I'd got nothing in writing. And the client denied it. They didn't care. They wanted to cover their own backs, right? I don't think they'd had it approved from above them. So then when I went back in the office, my manager pulled me in a room and said, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. And we all know how that feels when your mum says that, let alone your boss. It was awful. So the lesson is always confirm in writing, whatever it is. And I live and die by that now. Okay, the next mistake, this is not my one, but this is one I've heard of. Always check again. Okay, so just imagine for a minute that you run ads in Meta. Some of you probably do. And just imagine that your client is a very large beauty retailer, and there's a lot of high pressure. You work at a big agency, and the client rings up on Friday and they say, we need this campaign live for bank holiday. Here's the assets, get going. We need it live. Okay. So the details of the campaign are, the budget is 150,000. The campaign is to run for the whole of May. This is currently the Friday at the end of April, by the way. The 1st of May is the Saturday. It's a key detail in the story. It's not a test, by the way, don't worry. The daily budget is just over 4,000 and the go live date is tomorrow on the Saturday, okay? So this poor campaign manager, rush, get it all done on the Friday. I want to go home for my bank holiday weekend. Right, they get it all ready and then they set up a rule to turn it on the Saturday. Now, if you've played with rules, you know they can be not great. Anyway, they've set it all up, off they go, and they go on their bank holiday. And they probably went to the beach, which is what I do on the bank holiday. And they definitely don't think about work, and they definitely didn't check on the campaigns or their emails. Okay, Tuesday morning rolls around. Guess what happened? They're just having their morning coffee, trying to get into work, and then they check on the campaigns, and guess how much it spent? 150 grand. The clicker's not working for the key moment. £150,000 in 3 days was spent. Yeah, not great. So I don't know about this person, but when something like that happens, this is my initial reaction because my guts are very linked to my brain, as a lot of ours are. So not good, really not good. And there was really bad consequences for that person, horrible. The stress, so unnecessary. Why did it happen? Because they got it wrong between daily and campaign lifetime budget, which is so easy to do on Meta, okay? Got to be so careful. And they didn't have someone check it because they built it in a rush on a Friday. So many learnings there. So always check your settings. Ideally have a friend check them or a colleague. We always do that. Nothing goes live without someone checking it because this haunts my dreams, okay? Right, number 3. This also didn't happen to me, but I was witness. Losing £2,500 on a job interview. Okay, so when we hire, and same when I worked at Periscopics, when we hire, we ask candidates to put together how they would run a strategy for a well-known retailer, okay? So the really good candidates will go into Google Ads, they'll actually do proper keyword research with the keyword planner, and they'll mock up some fake ads to show you how they would do it. And one time we had this really exceptional candidate in and he presented really, really well and gave him the job. And then we found out after that he had gone into Google Ads and he had set it all up and he had activated the campaigners. The poor guy, just let that sink in. You're a grad, you're just trying to start your career in PPC and you've lost £2,500. That's what happened to this guy. It's so easily done. So luckily, the company I worked for at the time was really, really good and they hired him and they actually raised his salary to help him pay it off because that sort of money, you can't, it's just awful. Anyway, obviously check your campaigns regularly. If he'd have logged back in even once, he might have stopped here like £50 or £100, anything would have been better. Anyway. So the last big one I've got, this is my own personal one, and this really stings still. Father's Day 2022, okay? So this is me and Em, my business partner. This is us in 2022. The business is only 1.5 years old. We just got these water bottles and we thought we were amazing. We won this big client to do consultancy for them, and they were a gifting experience business, okay? Like Virgin Experience Days. Not them, but like them. And if any of you have worked with a gift experience brand, the peaks are real. So Father's Day is one of the most important times of the year, as is Christmas. So it's a very high pressure time. It's not very fun, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so we started working with one of these brands and they brought us on to help their team run their ads better and make more from Father's Day specifically. Okay? I'll just say that for now. So the details, just to recap, it was a peak time for the business, very high pressure. CEO was crazy. Like, I didn't realize how crazy till after. So there was a significant amount of pressure on both his team and us. A very junior PPC team was running those ads. I'm talking like a couple of weeks in the job, junior. And then we were consulting to help train them up on how to do it and going through their builds and guiding them. And it was all 2 weeks before Father's Day because obviously we'd been brought in last minute. So the pressure was on, but we were excited because we were a new business and we've won a big client. It was really exciting for us. Anyway, we're guiding the team on what to do and how to build and how to get things into Google Ads, you know, all the steps. And there was a few flags. Okay, the first flag was, let's use broad match. Okay, should we just start with exact? And then maybe if it's going well, we'll use broad. No, we're going to use broad match. Just get in there. We've got to drive a lot of sales. Okay. Every campaign is going to have a £500 a day budget. Okay, you've got like 10 campaigns. You sure? Should we maybe start with like £100, see how it goes, and then go bigger? No, 500. Got to go big or go home. That was the CEO's words. We're going to launch now. It's Friday, 3:00. Let's do it. No, please don't do that. Like, we all know what happens on Fridays. Fucking disaster. Anyway, obviously we were just consulting, so we had absolutely no control. So we just advised, and we sent in writing our advice, and they launched. And put your hand up if you think it went well. Exactly. Monday morning, my phone rings. Oh my God, CEO's on the phone. Kat, you have spent £40,000 and not driven one sale. Well, I didn't spend it, your team did, but I'm going to be in trouble now, aren't I? Oh my God. You know what happened. Okay? It was bad. It was really bad. Luckily, I was working from home. That's all I can say. Like, it was really bad. It wasn't even my campaign. Anyway, so it was awful for the client. They should have listened, obviously. It was awful for us because obviously we lost the contract with that client. We didn't want to work with them after that anyway, because a client that can't listen, it's not going to work, right? We lost £12,500 in our consultancy fees because they wouldn't pay our invoice, which was, you know, really painful at the time. And I reflected on it a lot. And we did everything right, I think. We advised caution, we confirmed it in writing. They do what they want to do, right? So the lesson for me on this one is listen to the flags and run, okay? If it's really that bad, don't stick around. Like, we would never take on a client like that now. No way. Okay, I'm just about on time, and then it's lunch, don't worry. So this is just a quick fire round of easily avoidable mistakes that you can take note of and hopefully not do, okay? So one, when you're in meta ads and you're building catalog ads, it's really, really easy to link to the wrong client if you manage multiple clients. My friend in the audience, Kian, gave me this one. It's just such an annoying thing with meta. It can put the wrong client in there. So you don't want one client's product showing on a different one. Disaster. The next one is never hit apply all on a recommendation in any of these platforms. I had a client who accidentally changed all my keywords to broad match without realising or telling me, because they didn't know. It was a disaster. It was a client that does cosmetic dentistry. And I logged in one day and I could just see all this extra traffic and loads of leads coming through. And I was like, oh, amazing, like everything's picking up, this is good. And then the client was like, we're getting all these weird leads for like people that need emergency dental and we don't offer that. And I looked in the change history and this guy had logged in and put all the keywords in broad match and not realised, said he didn't realise, I don't know. Not fun. If you go on holiday, leave cover notes for someone who's covering for you. So just a quick story. It was Christmas Eve quite a long time ago and I was in the office covering some accounts. And we thought it'd be really quiet, to be honest, because most people don't need loads of stuff on Christmas Eve, unless you work in retail. And then the fun starts. So we had a client in the menswear category and they phoned the office at 9:30 in the morning. I need my report, I've got my trading meeting. Like literally no cover notes. I knew nothing about this client. I was like, shit. So I was like, okay, yes, I'll get that to you ASAP. Locking the account, like there's no dashboard set up, there's no notes, the account manager wasn't answering. So I just like cobbled together a report and it just was bad, not good. The last one, this still hurts. So this can happen to anyone in any industry, in any field, emailing the wrong person. So we were pitching for a brand in the healthcare space. And how we'd got on the pitch list is that we had worked with the contact at her previous role at a competitor. Now, she'd left that first business in quite a dramatic fashion and gone to this new place, but she was actually breaching her contract by being in this new place. So it was all very sensitive and under wraps. We did the pitch. It went really well. It was great. I was like, yes, we're going to win this. This is great. And I emailed the pitch deck through to her old email address at the old business. So I rang her up and I said, I'm really sorry. I've sent this email to your wrong email address. I have recalled it, but, you know, I don't know if I trust the recall. I thought you should know. She went ballistic. She said, you stupid girl. How could you do that? And obviously we didn't win the contract. And more importantly, I felt like shit after that tiny little mistake that so easily could have been avoided. Anyway, the summary is just remember to always check your settings. Confirm everything in writing, definitely. Don't launch on a Friday. Don't launch anything today. If someone's telling you to, write to them saying this is not a good idea. Always ask a friend to check. That is always a good idea, whatever it is. It doesn't hurt to have a second pair of eyes, or even a third. Add extra caution if someone's putting pressure on you. Actually, if someone's putting pressure on you, go a little bit slower, if anything. And don't repeat mistakes, okay? It's okay to make mistakes once, twice, maybe, but a third time, no way. And then, nearly lastly, it's clicker's fun, isn't it? We're not brain surgeons. We're not saving lives. We are just running paid media ads. So do give yourself a break. And I have to say this to myself all the time. When my heart rate's like, Kat, you need to relax. Like, no, it's fine. We're not actually saving lives. It's all good. So give yourself a break. No one really gets fired for this stuff if they do it once. Obviously, if they repeat do it, they do get fired. I gave them away my secret already by saying they don't get fired because I got excited. So if you want the full list, I've collated it of everything I've ever seen just into a simple list. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'll send that to you. And yeah, I really hope that no one else makes the same mistakes. Thank you so much.